Okay, so we're gonna look at part 2 of that 2-book series of Taco's books, and I should mention here are their social pages, so you should definitely check them out and subscribe to their work and buy these books. They're really incredible. So this book covers face and legs, which is interesting breakdown of this in this particular book. We're going to look through this and see facial construction. And, you know, I do a lot in my lives using the cube method to build the face and the head so that you can determine the angle of the head. And this does such a good job of showing you. And I always end up putting the profile line in there as well. And being able to use those certain major markers has such a difference in my own art and can have with yours as well. This is a great one. Now, this looks kind of creepy, but it's really about proportions. You know, I talk about the proportions a lot, but a lot of times if you feel like your face in your designs isn't looking right, oftentimes it's because of the proportions. And here you can see that they've laid out the eyes to show you the proportion. Like the eyes are from this character have one eye between them, right? So you can see here there's a one eye difference between them, and the eyes, this triangle that represents the eyes and the nose is actually a set of these 3 eyes that connect from the bottom, so you can see that's the proportion. Now, everyone's faces don't have the same proportion, and different styles have different proportions, but the point behind this is to understand the proportion of your characters' faces and how they're built. And if you understand the proportions, you can build your character the same way every time, no matter what direction but they are facing. It comes down to the proportions, and that's why whenever I do my live streams and I'm showing how to draw certain characters like Hugo or whatever, like he has very specific proportions that I have for his face, and for his head, it's a 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 kind of proportion. And if you follow that, like I do, I can make Hugo look pretty similar in every drawing. I also love in their explanations here, like looking at the head as a shape, like as a collection of shapes. Like here we can see the shelf caused by the brow, and it creates this shelf here that casts a shadow and adds depth to your face. And it's just really satisfying to see it demonstrated in this way. And if you apply that to your own style of art, you'll see a difference. You can see here, there's so much depth in these drawings because the shelf of the brow is taken into consideration. Don't even get me started with this, because this is like one of the hardest faces to draw as someone looking this way. You know, I've certainly suffered with that, but I'm getting better at it because I'm much better at understanding now how the head is built. This is another great tip that he has in here about the positioning of the ears as it relates to where the head is facing, because that'll help you show the direction that the head is facing. So there's a lot of great examples in here. Okay, so this I always liked this part of the head. I've started to exaggerate this more in my own drawings, where it's like you can see in like its own shelf. You know, this particular drawing is not about that. It's really determining the point where the back of the head is bent based on the earlobes, and that where it connects to the head. But I always loved this shape for some reason. I just always thought it was a fun shape to draw. Again, it's all about the shapes, right? Like, look at these, the shelving of the head. That's not a technical term, that's just what I call it. Creating these shelves with the shapes gives your characters depth. And these books do such a great example of that. Teeth. I love drawing teeth. Teeth are so much fun and expressive to draw. And it's so important when you're drawing a character's mouth in particular, knowing where, I was showing this on live stream the other day, knowing where the skull is and where the teeth actually fit in the skull, because sometimes you'll see characters and they'll draw an expression, but the teeth aren't really anatomically where they should be, and that's usually where you'll have a problem in your drawings if the teeth are not properly aligned to the skull. So there's some great tips in here on how to build the mouth out. Such satisfying shapes. I love this. What I love about this book too is that there's a lot of practical things that are discussed in here, like about how to put accessories on a character, like, you know, glasses. Nothing drives me more crazy in like anime or cartoons when like the glasses are angled in a weird way, but they do it to like accentuate the glass. I don't understand why they do it a certain way when it looks so much better if you follow like the reality of how the glasses will bend to someone's face. Look, even here, just from a practical perspective, looking like how tears flow down a face. This is really beautiful stuff, because if you understand how a face is built, how a human head is built, you can follow the contours to create these effects in a really beautiful and anatomically, you know, correct way. Hats, for example, that's another one. Like this, I drew a cowboy hat the other day on Hugo, and I was super proud of it because I did it with very little reference, and I drew it completely on my own. And it was because I was following a method like this, where I was able to follow the advice about starting with shapes and creating the planes of the hat and making it conform to the planes of the head. This is kind of cool too. This is showing how to apply, if you're going to draw band-aids on different parts of the body, and following the contours of the body to place the band-aids. It's just so cool. There's this awesome collection of just legs and feet on how to draw them and how to build them, the planing of them and the positioning and proportions. Feet are very difficult too to draw, but once you understand breaking down the feet into certain shapes, it becomes so much easier. I'm able to draw them so much better now because of my understanding of the shapes of the feet, and this particular book breaks them down really, really nicely. So I bought these as a pair. They came together in this pair. Highly recommend you grab this book if you can. I bought this on Amazon, so it wasn't rare. You should absolutely support their work and buy a book. This is just such an amazing artist.